Hey y'all, and welcome back to Cajun Country Living.
Once again, we're working on this chicken coop that was free, $99, and we were so excited about it, but now we're starting to agree with a lot more of y'all's comments. Y'all would have probably been better off just to build one from scratch. It would have probably been cheaper, yada, yada, yada. We get it, and now we're feeling it.
But with it being already here, we are just going to keep pushing and pushing through to see what we can get done and get this thing shaped up into a chicken coop that hopefully doesn't fall on the ground in any circumstances again. So that's the goal here, to make it where it's durable enough to not fall on the ground.
Well, yeah, we're almost halfway there now. Can't quit on a miss.
So if y'all can tell behind us, there is a roof put up now, which is fantastic, and actually Jim did all this work by himself. I ended up taking Ladley up to Illinois for a few days. We had some things that we needed to get done up there, so while I was gone, Jim knocked a huge dent in this chicken coop.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Cajun Country Living. Today, Lydia and Ladley has flown the coop for a couple days, so it's going to be just the Jimbo show for today. Now Lydia has left me here unattended and without any adult supervision for 2 whole days. Although I could go to the swamp and go fishing, do something like that, I think what I'm really going to do is dig into this chicken coop, try to get this thing finished. That way, whenever she returns, we can get into one of our bigger projects that really needs our attention. Now, if y'all been watching the past couple of videos, y'all seen that we had all kinds of issues getting this thing over here, getting it in place, and we have now turned it into a convertible. It has no roof. We're replacing the siding. We had to replace a few studs in the walls, but I think we're in pretty good shape as far as the structure goes now. So I'm going to do my best to try to bam this thing out and get this roof put on and see how far we can get with the siding today. As far as putting in these roof rafters, we already have one installed up here. So instead of cutting the notches out to make it fit tight, all that kind of good stuff, this is just a chicken coop. So I think I'm just going to go through, nail the rest of them in series in place, and then come back in and sink a high tensile screw or 2 in the bottom through this top plate to each one of these rafters. And that should be more than enough structural attachment that we need, because this is a relatively small roof. And with the boards that we bought 12-foot boards, and we have a little over 8 inches of overhang off of the back, so that won't even need to be trimmed off. And this is going to be light years better than what we had. And actually, the old rotten roof that was on here before, sitting in the middle of the pasture, actually withstood some hurricane force winds. So with this, hey, we should be golden.
Alrighty y'all, well let me tell y'all something. So down here in Cajun country, we know what it's like when the power goes out. So whether it's a hurricane, a storm, or just our bad luck, we seem to lose power constantly. And that's whenever we realize that we need a really good backup power that we can count on. And that is where the Jackery Solix Generator 2000 V2 comes in. Small yet mighty, y'all, this bad boy actually packs 2,042 watt-hours of power, and it's the lightest and smallest lithium iron phosphate 2 kilowatt-hour backup you're going to find. It's got 2,200 watt output, so we're not just talking about charging your phone. This thing can keep your refrigerator running, it can power up your microwave, it can even actually brew your morning coffee if the grid's down. And y'all, one of the best parts is it charges up fast with solar panels, so fully juicing it up in just 2 hours. That's some of the best efficiency in the business. Now it is compact and easy to handle at just 18 kilograms with a foldable handle, so it doesn't take up a ton of space. Perfect if you have an apartment or if you need to store it out of the way. And y'all, here's the kicker. It's got an instant 20 millisecond UPS switching mode, which means that it keeps critical devices like your fridge or your Wi-Fi running even if the power cuts out without missing a beat. And not to mention that it's whisper quiet, so you're not gonna have to hear all that humming along in the background. So whether it's the middle of this hot Louisiana summer or a freak cold snap, the Jackery is going to perform. It'll even work up to -20 degrees Celsius with its protective cover. And with the 5-year warranty, you know that you're covered for the long haul. So if you're looking for a reliable home backup power, this is the one. This Jackery Solar Generator 2000 V2 has got your back when you need it most. So y'all, all the links are going to be listed in the description below, and thank you Jackery for sponsoring this video. All right, now let's get back to the build. Get this sucker charged up and ready to go for the next time.
Well, the first rattle out of the box, I see where we've already made a screw up. And this is so unlike us. We only do that 1,000 times a day. So what I'm dealing with is that whoever laid these stud walls out, they started in one direction and they laid the walls out, just say in this direction. Well, as me and Lydia laid the stud wall out, we laid it out according to how we wanted the 4x8 sheets of siding to lay out. So we started measuring from the outside of the wall, 24-inch centers, so forth and so on. So on this side, the rafters are falling out right in line with the wall studs is what you want. You want that stud supporting the rafter. Back wall, not so much. Who did the back wall? Me and Lydia. You know, one of the things that I often take for granted whenever we're doing one of these little rehab type projects, we're tearing something apart and rebuilding it, putting it back together is to do that thorough inspection. You know, am I really ready to do the work that I've set out to do? The answer in this case was no. I had more ambition than I was really prepared for. Let me show you why. This is about where the rafter needs to sit. Now, if you can see this big hole right here where we tore out the old rafters, kind of with a hammer and self-induced, really. So the rafter would be sitting like this. It'd be sitting like a 1/2 inch lower than it really needs to be sitting to begin with. So what I'm gonna have to do is come back in here and nail in a board right here, and that's gonna give this rafter plenty of structure to sit on so I can be able to screw it in place. Good news is I should be able to nail this board in place. My nails will be long enough for that, but just another step's gonna take me a little longer. Those eggs are sounding cheaper every minute, I'm telling you.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house and a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, a chain link fence and a gravel drive, the wind chime ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around a limb of a tall oak tree. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me. A big bathtub in my bathroom, microwave, dishwasher too. The folks say hi when they pass on the street. A clean pair of socks every day of the week. A big soft chair for when I'm old. Tackle box and a fishing pole. I don't care about a fortune or fame, I just don't wanna know my mailman's name. At Christmas time, I'm gonna leave him a gingerbread cookie. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me.
Well, I was able to get all the rafters put in place. It was kind of a pain in the neck, but it wasn't awful. And next I'm gonna go ahead and strip that roof with 1x4s. That'll give me something solid to be able to put the roofing metal on with and something to screw it to. Now, some of these rafters look like a chicken snake, so I'm gonna have to pull and tug on them, try to get them straight before I nail them in. But this part should go fairly fast, and we'll be ready to put sheeting up here before long. And it's just in time, because it's a little after noon, and the sun's gonna be straight up and down, and it's gonna be like working in a frying pan. So couldn't be more perfect.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. show that us stands this side away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over.
Wow, that was really easy work.
And a snap.
It's like I didn't have to do anything.
Well, now that the warden's back in town, all the slough off time is officially over, and it is time to get back to the grindstone.
Yeah, we have a lot left to do. I can't believe you didn't get more done while I was gone. Now, if y'all remember, there were already pieces up here, and like we had talked about, we really liked the design and layout that they had already done. So we're just gonna kind of mimic this and put these sheets back up here, just fresh metal instead of all that churchy stuff that was up here. You know what I'm talking about? It was real holy. How does that look? Pretty good? Pretty straight?
So when Lydia came in, she was stir crazy, as you can imagine, being confined in a cabin. Cabin fever, not really a cabin. Anyway, she came outside and went ahead and cut all these short pieces. Well, this is what she used. We've heard so many different names for what this is. Some people call it a nibbler, some people call it a shear. I don't know. All I know is that we have one. It's fairly inexpensive and it does a really good job. The only hard thing with this is to keep it perfectly running straight as you run over the corrugation. But what we call it here at Cajun Country Living is a 10 cut and hootis. This is a 10 cut and hootis. Somebody's going to take that name and market that. 10 cut and hootis.
How bad is my accent since I came back?
It's really not too bad this time. Usually when you come back, you sound like a completely different person after you've been around your family. Hey, you guys.
Hey, guys. Hey, Jim. It's so funny how you get used to just being around, like, truly. For example, like your mama, she has such a strong accent. And like truly, that's probably who I talk to the most besides you. And it is wild how much you just pick it up, you know? And I probably picked it up quicker because y'all would make fun of me so bad. Every time. Donkey. Info. Hey, speaking of, we need to check out that list. We had some requests of some funny words for you to say.
Oh yeah, the hog, dog, log.
All right.
Good.
Just gonna test out your roofing here.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about that. We keep our
Listen.
elephants up there if you want to.
I wouldn't go that far. So next up is putting up the ridge cap, and that is gonna take 2 pieces. So we're gonna start on this end since it's the end that we see, and then if it gets off and runs a little crazy one way or the other way, at least it'll be on the side that we don't look at. So even though we started the metal on that end, we're gonna start this ridge cap on this end, and that's the reason why. Whenever I was up there, Jim Wayne,
Yeah.
they were harvesting everything, and I still think that I have dust in my nose and allergies from that.
Well, you can't say it's hay fever. What you got? Corn fever?
Corn
Soybean fever?
Bean fever.
Bean fever. Does that mean you're gassy?
I don't know, am I? Don't answer that. Watch my eyeballs. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that definitely sharpens it up.
Slick. You know what that does?
What?
That makes my teeth sweat. It looks so good.
That's that's a new one.
That's a new
I'll
one.
have to say.
It makes your teeth sweat. I need a new one. That one was malfunctioning. Or operator error, one of the two.
It could have had a factory defect.
I think it had a factory defect. Definitely factory. That one went in smooth.
Ready for the measuring tape?
Toss her up.
You want like a straight on or you want a hook shot? How you want it?
I don't know, but what concerns me is that the sun is in your eyes and you're closing your eyes.
I'm gonna throw it to you in braille maybe.
All right. Just however you feel comfortable with your eyes closed. So
There you go. Try it again. Well, I tried to do that soft, gingerly kind of throw, you know.
I'm gonna chuck it at my face. Something will catch it, either my face or my hands. 40.
That's easy to remember. Even though we've been fortunate enough to get some things checked off of our list lately, we can't help but feel guilty. To all of those that have been affected by the recent hurricanes, please know that you're in our thoughts and prayers, because we are all too familiar with the helpless feeling that a devastation like this brings. We have been fortunate enough to stay in contact with some of our Cajun family that have been directly hit. We have been able to send items to their friends and family so they can get it. Even though that it's all we're able to do, still doesn't seem like enough. To everyone watching that hasn't experienced a hurricane, just know that when you stop hearing about it on the news, the hardship isn't over. It'll take some weeks, some months, some years. For some, things will never be the same.
Though I fought with my claws and teeth, though I elbowed my way to a seat, there be no kind of peace like you beside.
We want to thank you all for watching, and we thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts for being in our Cajun family. And we'll be seeing you again real soon.
happens as it seems in the photo.